Second, things are percolating, engines are firing up. Hey, we are live. Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to the BAMF podcast. I'm your host, Mike Lafferty, and here is another one of our interviews with indie comics creator. We were talking to Lori Calcaterra.
Howdy.
Hey, Lori. I'm
Hi.
going to play my cheesy musical intro, and then we
Yes.
can get to actually talking. So just one
I
second.
love cheesy musical intros.
Yeah, this is pretty cheesy. Hang on.
Woo!
That assures you, gentle viewer, that this is a high quality, no additives, gluten-free, custom farm-to-table geeky conversation for your podcast listening pleasures. We've had Lori on before. I want to say about 6 months ago. You were doing
Yep.
Path of the Pale Rider issue 3, and now we're on
Yep.
issue 4. And congratulations, you have 10 days left, and you are
Thank you.
funded.
Yep.
And
let's see, we're about like 125%.
Sweet. So you're knocking down stretch goals, and I described this on Twitter as it's a Western apocalypse, and I'd go as far to say Gonzo, just with your overall vibe is kind of definitely sort of Hunter S. Thompson. A lot of weird shit goes down.
Yeah, to say the least, right? Path of the Pale Rider is a world where just death has been broken. It's like if your body could die, but your soul didn't leave your body upon death, and you're stuck in it as it decays. So you start to lose your memory, your thoughts, your care, your humanity, right? But one thing that you're not is a flesh craving zombie. It's just me, it's Mike, it's your neighbor. You could wake up and not even know you're dead. And the hard part is it's people, animals, insects, fish, nothing dies correctly anymore. So in this world, in issue number 1, we start 10 years into that apocalypse where things have devolved back to the Wild West. And we're with a cowboy named Jude St. Clair, who's like the last guy still looking for the answer of what broke death. If you like things like Book of Eli, The Walking Dead, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Cocaine Bear, this is Path of the Pale Rider in a nutshell.
I don't know if you can tell, I have a cocaine owlbear as my backdrop today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, our big baddie that we introduced in issue number 1 is an undead bear named Big James. The locals call him BJ, which is funny in my mind. It's very in the gutter that you can die by BJ in this world. And it's like, what do you do with a big undead bear? You can't outrun it. You can't swim. You can't climb away from it, and you can't kill it. So what do you do?
Do they try to trap it?
You have to just pretty much get lucky. This thing will just rampage right through you. Let's see here. Where would you like me to go next from here?
All right, so we are on issue 4. We started last time we talked. It wasn't issue 3 a flashback sequence?
Yeah.
Going back to the day Death died.
All right. So issue number 1, like I said, when we start, we're 10 years into the apocalypse. Here's kind of a look at what issue 1 is like. Jude St. Clair is in the wild making decisions, makes some bad decisions, and has some consequences for meeting Big James. Issue number 2, he ends up at a town named Santa Claus. He's looking for a guy, finds him, and it's the town drunk. Is thrown in jail, picked a fight, lost all his money playing poker. It's a bad day. But at the end of the issue, Jude St. Clair and this guy are recounting how they saw their first undead, where they were when the day was. And then that leads us to issue number 3. We're at day 1 of the apocalypse when death went missing. Jude St. Clair is a young man, an EMT. He still lives at home with his parents. And you get to see everything kind of fall apart. Society, there's huge famine, ethical issues, government overstep, riots, and unrest. You get to see it start to fall apart here. And of course, it ends with something pretty bad happening with Jude and his nuclear family. So issue number 4, we pick up. If you haven't read issue 3, there are pages here from issue 4. There's some spoilers in there, so I'm not going to stay on them. but if you look at this cover from Marco DeFillo, you see what you're going to get. We're going to pick up where we left off, and it is the end of the old and the beginning of the new. There's a lot more zombie action. Every issue we go for, we've kind of teased at the zombies, but they're here. But again, it's like they're rioting because their rights have all been taken away and they're being disappeared. The government has decided that it is illegal for you to be undead in a living community, and they will come just pick you up in a black van and drive you to who knows where. So that's what we're getting in issue number 4. We have some beautiful variants that you can choose from. We have Lacey Kruger. This is very haunting. It's chock full of symbols. We've heard that this reminds people of like Peach Momoko style with the watercolor, but Lacey does this like juxtaposition of these beautiful floral images with this horror icons and skulls and disembodied eyeballs. But again, it's the death of society and the birth of the new normal is what we are going to see in issue 4. This one always kind of gets a reaction. I don't know. What do you see when you see this one, Mike?
That poor little girl's jaw has given out, and her tongue is just kind of hanging out there.
I don't know how she's going to eat that hot dog.
She's going to have to cram it in there and just kind of gum it, I think.
Ew.
or something.
So
yeah.
But it makes me laugh. Yeah, it's like tongue in cheek, ha ha ha, humor.
Tongue in cheek. She doesn't have humor. Cheeks anymore. Where's it going?
I know. The dad is in the background. He's wearing an apron that says "Hi, hungry. I'm Dad." It's again, it's the undead trying to just continue on with their lives, whatever it is now. But in the background, there's that black collector van. So it's like it'll make you laugh, it'll make you think, and then it'll make you sad because these people are going to be taken.
So when they get renditioned, do we know where they go, or is that a secret to be revealed at some point in the future?
You will find out eventually in issue number 7. But I've alluded to the undead retirement community and what people think it is. There's been commercials for it. However, that doesn't mean that it's the truth. You will find out the truth.
So we're probably not just taking them all to a beach in Jersey and kind of fencing them in. There's probably something darker going on there.
I really wish it was what we thought it was, which is like white picket fences and a whole community of undead people where they happily live out their undead years. But this is me we're talking about. So no, that's not happening.
It'll be kind of twisted.
Yeah. It's messed up.
Boy, I hate to bring up this show because it was not as much fun as your comic. But boy, that WB show iZombie, based on the DC comic iZombie, but it changed everything. And you had, I want to say Seattle or Portland, where you had the similar themes of the undead trying to live next to be alive, and chaos.
It didn't work out so well.
No, it did not.
No. But at least mine aren't trying to eat you.
Yeah, that is a bonus.
Ours are just trying to survive. But when they forget who you are, they forget how to drive while they're driving. That's a big deal. Or they just get angry because, if you follow the progression of dementia, depending on who it hits everybody differently. And you've seen little old ladies become highly aggressive because the brain is not working correctly. And that's these people. They can be aggressive. They could be forgetful. They could be a vegetable. It's just, it doesn't, it's not happy. I love this cover too. It's the William Russell Western. I love, we were talking about like a wanted cover, like a wanted poster cover, and this turned out great. And of course, Big James with all his fleshy parts showing is great. Gotta love it. We also have a sketch cover. I've had a few requests for that because I have some artist friends who read our series, but there is also down here, you can get a sketch cover from Marco DeFillo.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can
you get a custom sketch from the series artist.
Correct, which is great. Get your own Big James or Jude St. Clair or a pile of zombies on a cover, and it's one of one. It's original, and no one else will have it. So lots of good stuff there. You can get in on rewards for as little as $5. We have a PDF. We have a digital no PDF for $10.
Now, if I'm a hypothetical viewer listening to this at home, and I'm thinking, hey, this series sounds great, but I'm coming on
Yeah.
issue 4. Am I going to be confused? You actually have addressed that. You have a catch-up level, right?
I do. I have a catch-up tier in both digital and physical.
Mhm.
So if you like, I have some backers that are in India and Germany and Australia and the UK. They always get the digital everything. So you can get all 4 of these for $15. So
Mhm.
usually they're $5, and this one it's like the first one's free. And you could read the whole story, which is great, one after the other. And then you can do the single cover for $15. It's the cover, the PDF, and your name on the thank you page.
Mhm.
And my thank you pages are quite unique. The last one I did was an accident report from the state of Michigan where I killed off half the backers. It was hilarious. So we have fun. But
I,
you
I,
can
I just backed your book, and now I'm having second thoughts. Although I'm a
well, I
long way
mean, like
away, so
in the
yeah,
book we did it. We didn't actually kill the people. But yeah, I do
of
something
course
different
not.
every time, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It
Okay.
just kind of
Cool.
it
Cool.
goes with whatever's in the the issue.
Now
Um,
you guys have a video component to
we
the
do.
Pale Rider experience, and there's riddles also. So there's a lot
Yes.
of there. It's not just a comic book. There's interaction. There's video. There's a whole lot going on here.
Yeah, right from the beginning of when I did this, I decided I wanted to explore more of the world of Path of the Pale Rider outside of what's happening in the story. The story is told from the perspective of Jude St. Clair, and if he's not seeing it, you don't. You know what I mean? So there's so much going on in this world all over the place. What's great about this is that you can do riddles and find bonus material. You can have an interaction with one of the characters like they're real. This one, it's a QR code scavenger hunt. All you got to
Mhm.
do is scan the QR codes. Enjoy the things that you find. They're just all silly or related to Path of the Pale Rider, but one of them is bonus material. Like you stumbled upon a video on YouTube that is I don't want to say too much. It's a little creepy,
Mhm.
but it's definitely something that you're going to be interested in the Path of the Pale Rider world. But again, it's like it's a real place, and you just happen to find it. We
So
do
sort of
these.
like literal
Go ahead.
found footage.
Yes, yes, that's
Mhm.
exactly what it is. And then the short films we are doing are fan interactive. So again, if you want to be a part of the world, you can. Like in this second one, I interviewed people. I dressed up as a reporter and Ellie Brock, and I
Mhm.
introduced people asking them what they thought broke death, and then they got to say whatever they wanted. And
Mhm.
some of the things were really thoughtful. Like a lot of people said food, like GMOs or sugar or fast food, McDonald's, all over the place, right? And then
Mhm.
other people said just crazy stuff like aliens and voodoo pygmies. Other people were like the government and vaccines, and you know what I mean? It's just all over the map. But that's what I think it would be like in this world. Nobody has an idea of what broke death. And then at the end, you could see me get run over by a car, which is amazing. Um,
That's actually at the very start of the Kickstarter video.
yeah. I bring back Ellie Brock. So she dies at the end of this video. And at the very top, I'll show people just as 2 seconds.
We really have no idea.
There she goes. But what's cool about this video is, typical Kickstarter videos, you have the creator and they tell you about the story and they tell you the artist and everything. But in this one, Ellie Brock joins me. Here she is. So she sits down, she's disgruntled, and she just basically just causes havoc on me telling you what Path of the Pale Rider is about. She shouts consequences all the time. She tells you about Big James. At some point, her eyeball pops out. It's great. So have fun watching that. And then in the update section, this is where I post like whenever we're add new stuff or like breaking stretch goals, which we're about to break another one. Um, there's a blooper reel. So you can see Ellie like fall down and just steal the show and be ridiculous. You can see the eyeball pop out a few different times. It's funny. It's a blast.
Yeah, I have to say, usually I'm a 10-second guy
Yeah.
on Kickstarter videos. But yours,
Yeah,
I
I know
actually
what you
watched all. Okay, I watched all the way through because it was that funny. So I would encourage
but
anyone to
that's
check
the
it out.
whole point.
Yeah.
Because you spend all these time, putting together a Kickstarter video. Nobody watches these things. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's 10 seconds to be like, all right, thank you. But I was like, maybe if I run myself over with a car, people
It's a good
might
hook.
people
You
might
have my
stick around.
attention. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So we got some amazing stuff in the rewards. I'll just go real quick because here we are at 15 minutes, but there's a collector patch. So if you want to show your support of your living decision, we have iron-on patches. I just found 12 of these Undead Rioter patches. The Dead Outside, Still Human Inside. I was getting ready for a con and I was going through my stuff and I was like, I still have these. So you can potentially get both of these if you wanted. These trucker hats, the lovely one I'm wearing, I decided to open those up. People like my hat. So there's trucker hat available. Of course, the catch-up tier gets you every single book 1 through 4. Check that out. T-shirts. I got 2 T-shirts. You can again pick a side. No Pulse, No Rights, and Dead Outside, Still Human Inside. We have metal covers. I dropped the price on these from 100 to 75 because we also made metal cover for issue number 1 available. If you're collecting those metal covers, grab it now. We're moving on from metal covers starting with issue 5. We're going to wooden covers, which
Holy
I'm
shit,
super
wooden
excited
covers.
about. Heck
I've never heard
yeah.
that before. That's pretty cool.
I'm so excited because we're like totally Western 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what we're going to do. I have this super secret reward. And these are the ones that are a little bit warped, but it's handmade something from myself. You can get anything from like my issue number 2 was a wooden box handcrafted by myself with a glass bottle of bones and ashes in it with a poem about if you hold a seashell to your ear, you can hear the ocean. What happens if you hold a bottle of bones to your ear? Do you hear the voices of the damned? Because again, there's no death.
You know, you are the second Kickstarter organizer I've talked to in a couple months who do upper tier handcrafted rewards like that. He was
cool.
doing. I talked to Grant Howard. He's a big RPG guy. He was doing actually Vampire game in World War II, and
cool.
Their high level tier was also some kind of crafty box with basically artifacts from the setting they put together, kind of like what you're doing. So
that's awesome.
That is interesting. How do you, just as a Kickstarter person, how much are you sweating like the price of swag and the ungodly shipping costs? How do you balance all that out? I mean, your spreadsheets must be amazing.
I do have an awesome spreadsheet. I'll tell you that much. Here's what it looks like. So more than half of my budget goes directly to art. The next big chunk is print charges. Print charges and merch are usually close. It just depends on what, who gets what. We also run these custom made Funko Pops of our characters, and they're pretty pricey. They're awesome because they're limited. The only place to get these are through my Kickstarter. People are like, can I order these through your website? And I was like, no, the only time you can get these are here because the shop I use will mass produce like 5 Dwayne Finks at once and send them all to me. They take months to make, so it's not like you can order them from my website and then you have to wait 6 months and then, you know what I mean? Like it's just the logistics of it. It's just the Kickstarter. But some of the merch is pricey. And then of course you have like Kickstarter fees, credit card, and then shipping. So that's how the money gets spent. And anything that we get extra goes right back into the project. But it costs a pretty penny to produce excellent comics.
Yeah, it looks like it's really worthwhile. There's a lot of great content shoved in here. Now, speaking of great content, you had a deal where a lot of your other friends in the indie comic community kicking in issues, right? Am I recalling that correctly?
Yes, and we unlocked this. So this is a great time to get involved with Path of the Pale Rider. Let me show you what things we have unlocked so far. So dollar amount wise, we've unlocked this indie bundle. So there are 15 comics here from other indie creators, and this is amazing. So you can do a $5 issue number 4 digital, and you get 16 comics.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, that's really cool. So it's almost like a Whitman sampler of great indie comics.
Yeah. And I mean, it's all over. You got horror, there's other zombie, there's all ages. This Dragon Child is fabulous by Katie Shaw. Dusk, this one's an actual volume. It's over 60 pages. Fluff's Fury is very cartoony, but it has like the biggest battles I've ever seen. It's just all over the place. You know what I mean? And that's such a great opportunity to find something new that maybe you didn't know existed. So everybody wins here. You get additional comics. Um, you know, my friends get their comics read by a new audience, and I get to have something really cool in my Kickstarter. Well, plus it's like it's not just the physical backers, it's the digital backers too. Everybody gets this, which is what I love about it. We just unlocked the skull koozies. So all the physical backers get this one. They get either a black or a white koozie, handcrafted by myself. We are building a poker deck. So here's the card that we unlocked last campaign. I came up with this like partway through campaign last time. So we unlocked one at 100 backers because that's when I thought of it. But I was like, going forward, we're going to do them every 50 backers. So we unlocked this one at 50. It's the Ace of Hearts. At 100 backers, we're going to flip the next card. So everybody will get 2 poker cards. We are pretty much there. Let's see. Yep, we're at 99 backers. So one more backer and we unlock the next poker card, which is super cool. Which makes me so happy that we'll have 3 cards unlocked and we're working on the 4th one. We get to 150 backers, we'll do another one. I've never gotten 150 backers. That would feel great. And then we're working up to, let's see, dollar amounts. We got the slice and dice. We did this last time and it was amazing. It was summertime, so we now I do martial arts. I have some swords and weapons because I'm that level of crazy. And what I did was poll the fans and they voted on what kind of weapon I was going to use. And then they named the watermelon King Joffrey Baratheon because F that guy, right?
Yeah.
And then on my show on the Tuesday Morning Brew, I dressed up as Pikachu and I destroyed this thing and we just laughed. We had such a great time. But since it's October, we end October 16th. I figure we would smash a pumpkin, but people will still get to vote on the weapon and people will still get to name the pumpkin before we destroy it and it ends up in my lawn. So we're gonna have a fun time with this,
Awesome. Yeah, that's a really cool way to do outreach with your fans. That's cool.
And we have bookmarks coming. We get to 65, and they have Morse code on them. So you get to solve the Morse code and see what I'm telling you about POTPR. So even our bookmarks, there's more to it.
Are you like an escape room person? Because like everything's got a second meaning.
Do you know
on
what's
your
funny?
project.
I have never been to an escape room, but it's
Ah.
on my list. I'm sure I would love them. You know what I mean? I'm sure I would have
Yeah.
a blast. So if
I
we get to 7 and 75, I have enamel pins and I haven't thought of anything for 75 because I just can't think that far. But hey man, if we do it, I'll surprise you. I love this little GIF from Total Recall. It makes me laugh.
that is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nice. Well, I am very happy for your success. You got tons of cool stuff. I just backed.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
would encourage
Mike.
Oh, it's all good,
You're
man.
99. Hooray.
And yeah, look forward to talking about issue 5. This is a really cool little thing you got going here.
Yeah, next we're doing a trade paperback. So it'll be issues 1 through 4. And if people recall, issue number 1 is in black and white. My colorist is coloring issue 1 right now. So
nice.
You will get the trade paperback completely in color. You'll have pages of all the variant covers that we've done, plus some bonus material, some journal pages from Jude St. Clair's journal, probably some pieces from the script. There's going to be some cool stuff in there. So that's what we'll be doing next before we head into issue number 5.
So if I'm out there somewhere listening or watching this show and I happen to be a guy who works at a comic shop,
yes,
and I'm thinking, how do I get a hold of this? Are you in distribution or is there a retailer tier they can check it on your Kickstarter? How would that work for them?
I have 2 retailer tiers. I have one for just books, which is $100, where I give you books 1 through 4. I think it's 5 of each. And my pitch postcards, which are basically a 4x6 postcard with a picture of issue number 1 cover, and on the back it has my elevator pitch and a QR code where they can read issue number 1 for free. So if they're on the fence, they can read it and see what they think. And then if they want to buy physical copies, they can come back. But that makes your life easy. You don't have to sell my book. I will sell my book from your counter for you. I also send you a t-shirt, sell the books, keep the t-shirt. Obviously a t-shirt's for you. Again, if this is just what I thought you would want. If you want something different, you don't want the variants, you only want 3 of each, whatever you want, just find me. I'm on a bunch of social media. I make it very easy to find me, and I can put together a package directly for you or your store. I have another tier. I would love to sell the next. I have 2 of these available and then 1 sold. So it's that same bunch of books, but there's also a full page ad inside Path of the Pale Rider. And in addition, for the selling goods, I will send you an 11x17 poster of your choice in addition to those pitch postcards to help advertise in your store. And again, pick out a t-shirt. That's for you.
All right. So, interesting stuff. Always a pleasure talking to you, Lori.
Yes, thanks for having me on. I love being on these shows. The 15-minute, I love the short form ones because people are more likely to watch to hear the information, but I feel like I have to talk like a mile a minute. So
It's all good.
I'm sorry if I was talking fast, everybody. I love you. Just want to make sure you get all the things.
I appreciate it. I used to do like 2-3 hour podcasts, and then I looked at analytics one day and I was like, I know those numbers are just dropping like a stone after the first 20 to 30 minutes. So
that's how it goes. It is.
yeah.
Yep.
So I try to keep them short, fast, and fun, get everything in the beginning.
Heck
and
yeah.
Especially for Kickstarter stuff, just because,
we really have no idea.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's a funny scene. So, all right, folks. Once again, I don't know if I said this URL. If not, I should have. But if you're listening and not watching, it's pale-rider.com. Go check it out. It takes you right to the Kickstarter. And you have 11 days up until the 16th to back. So it's already funded. It's going to get made. So this is a great time to jump on the bandwagon.
Heck yeah. Come along. We're going to have poker cards and koozies and slice and dice and all the good stuff. We're having fun.
Pumpkin destruction. And that's a good time for everybody.
Heck yeah. And it'll be on Halloween. So it'll be great. I'm super excited for that.
Something to watch while you're passing out candy. That's a beautiful thing. So, all right, folks, thanks for checking out the BAMF podcast. Go check out Lori's Kickstarter, and we will catch you next time on the BAMF podcast. Take care.